Today on Cyberwork, I'm pleased to welcome Gamuchirai Muchafa of Africa's Cyber Girls program.
Cyber Girls is like one of the Africa's largest tech mentorship for women, and the application process was intense. Oh my God, it was so intense.
Gamuchirai attracted the attention of InfoSec's Keatron Evans when she posted her solution to an InfoSec skills project, an incident response problem that required full documentation. Keatron called it one of the best, if not the best, answers to this problem I've ever seen.
You're given a suspicious IP address, and you have to find the machine which was compromised. One of a junior worker, they clicked on the malicious site, downloading a virtual machine, which was wrong.
Gamu walks us through the challenge and her thought process along the way, and reminds listeners of the importance of learning to document your own thought process, not just for your resume, but to truly retain what you're learning.
Documentation does not only help you to remember things, but it also opens up chances for feedback from others. And I use my LinkedIn to do that, to get feedback from people, connect with people. Always remember that knowledge shared is knowledge gained.
Let's talk incident response. Today on Cyberwork. The IT and cybersecurity job market is thriving. Bureau of Labor Statistics predicts 377,500 new IT jobs annually. You need skill and hustle to obtain these jobs, of course, but the good news is that cybersecurity professionals can look forward to extremely competitive salaries. That's why InfoSec has leveraged 20 years of industry experience, drawing from multiple sources to give you, Cyberwork listeners, an analysis of the most popular and top-paying industry certifications. You can use it to navigate your way to a good-paying cybersecurity career. So to get your free copy of our Cybersecurity Salary Guide ebook, just click the link in the description below. It's right there near the top, just below me. You can't miss it. Click the link in the description and download our free Cybersecurity Salary Guide ebook. Your cybersecurity journey starts here. Now, let's get the show started. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Cyberwork Podcast. My guests are a cross-section of cybersecurity industry thought leaders, and our goal is to help you learn about cybersecurity trends, how those trends affect the work of InfoSec professionals, and leave you with some tips and advice for breaking in or moving up the ladder in the cybersecurity industry. My guest today, Gamuchirai Muchafa, is a cybersecurity professional with a passion for incident response. She is a fellow of the Cyber Girls Fellowship, Africa's biggest training and mentorship program for young women. Born in Zimbabwe and raised in South Africa, Gamuchirai combines her passion for practical, hands-on work with her innovative approach to solving cybersecurity challenges. Her inquisitive nature and deep curiosity drives her to explore the how, why, and where behind threats, constantly seeking to gain more knowledge and break down complex issues to develop effective responses. In her spare time, Gamuchirai enjoys reading and is a fan of the Big Bang Theory. She also finds peace and serenity in the ocean, which helps her find balance in her busy life. So I wanted to invite Gamu on the show today because I'll let her explain it to you a little more, but needless to say, InfoSec's own Keatron Evans was exceedingly impressed with Gamu's skills, and I want to have her walk you through some of that. So Gamu, thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to Cyberwork.
Thank you so much, Chris.
It's a pleasure to have you. So to give our listeners a chance to get to know you a little bit and your origins, could you tell us about the first interests you had in tech and security and how you discovered and joined the Cyber Girls program?
First of all, thank you so much. It's amazing to be here. As you already mentioned, I was born in Zimbabwe and raised in South Africa. Mm-hmm. Funny enough, I didn't start out wanting to become a cybersecurity. I didn't want anything to do with it because I thought, oh, hackers. My dream was actually to join the Air Force and become a pilot. But life took a different turn, and financial issues made me put that dream on hold. I ended up working as a healthcare assistant for a short while, which was rewarding too, but not really exciting. Then I got my first taste of tech through the ANX software engineering program. It was tough. I don't want to lie to you, it was tough. Because number one, I didn't have a laptop, so you can only imagine coding without a laptop, how hectic it was. And also, I admit I didn't fully understand how much dedication it would take for me and, the commitments and everything. So I had to leave the program. But that experience taught me about resilience. And later, I completed my Harvard CS50 course on Introduction to Computer Science. Then I stumbled on cybersecurity. Then I got into open source through the All in Africa. Uh, that's when actually I started understanding, not through the contribution though, but when I was doing the CS50 introduction to cybersecurity, that's when actually cybersecurity came into my radar. So last year, November, I learned about the Cyber Goals Fellowship through two of their Cyber Goals alumni, whom I got in touch with and I asked them a few questions. And through their response, I was immediately interested. Cyber Goals is like one of the Africa's largest tech mentorship for women, and the application process was intense. Oh my God, it was so intense. We went through 4 stages. The first one was writing an essay. Second was the exam. You had to pass it over 70%. So the pressure was high. And then third, you had to record a video. Why do you think you're the perfect candidate? And also the last stage was to prove your identity. If this person who's applying, are you the person who you say you are? It made me push myself, and it worked on my mindset. I have to say it worked on my mindset. Yeah, because already there I could tell that I can't quit this because I can't go through that whole process to just quit. And Cyber Goals honestly became more than just a program to me, and still is not just a program. It's a sisterhood that you guys as a sisters, you face challenges, you go through them, and you celebrate each other's wins and everything. And it also taught me the definition of you're your sister's keeper. And I made amazing friendship. So yes, that's my whole process on getting into tech.
I want to go back to something you said before and ask you a little bit about it. You said that when you first started programming, you were programming without a laptop. What were you programming with?
With my phone.
You were doing programming with just the phone keypad? Wow.
With my phone, with my mobile cell phone.
Wow.
So yes, I would do that. But hence it was so hectic, I had to quit.
Yeah.
I did it I think I enrolled 4 times. Luckily, they were allowing us to do that.
Yeah.
So I would deeper come back
Mhm.
when it gets hectic, especially when you're doing C. Then you need to use your visual editor, the Vim.
Yep.
So it was kind of tricky to use a phone. So hence I had to quit.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's that's some determination though. I don't know too many people who would even know where to start programming with a cell phone. That's pretty amazing. So, as you said,
Thank you.
we've come to meet you through the Cyber Girls program. Can you briefly describe the types of study and hands-on projects that you're working on in your cohort of the Cyber Girls program? What are your favorite things that you're learning?
Mm. And let me just start. You said the Cyber Goals Fellowship. You see, on the Cyber Goals Fellowship, they have different cybersecurity sectors. I'm in the SOC. I enrolled on the SOC and SOC analyst. Currently, we're working on our final Cyber Goals project with my team, where we are developing an automated incidents detection and response system using open source tools like Wazoo. We have been having a lot of challenges. I don't want to lie to you. It has been crazy. It has been hectic, but my teamwork has been incredible. I have to give them their flowers. They have been incredible and resilient, and we're trying to push through. And I believe that by the day of the presentation, we'll have it done. Actually, the journey of Cyber Goals has come to an end. We are about tomorrow. I'm writing my final exam, and then this November, I think in 2 weeks' time, we are presenting. So the journey has come to an end. And also there's this Cyber Goal mantra that I'm actually thinking right now, which goes by I'm knowledgeable, resilient, and excellent. I'm a fountain of value and an ardent problem solver. I'm a voracious learner, so nothing is too difficult for me to master. I'm a doer with genius intellect, and I am a Cyber Goal. So that whole, if you listen to it, it's like you're saying a prayer that keeps us motivated. And I believe that we're all overwhelmed right now, but we're gonna excel this. And also outside of me working on that project, I'm also learning digital forensic with the Security Blue team. It's part of the CyberGo. I have to complete it and write an exam. The forensic right now, I'm finding it so fascinating. It's so interesting. I'm very inquisitive. So you can only imagine digging, uncovering evidence and solving problems. It's so perfect for me right now, and I'm enjoying. So, and after I've written my final exam, I'm going to be sharing the project that I'm working on. So, yeah.
Excellent. Can you talk about some of the? You said that it was a very challenging time right now in terms of you're working on. Did you say an automated incident response system for the SOC? Is that what it is? Could you talk a little bit about some of the challenges of that?
So we developing an automated incident detection and response system using Wazoo. So what my team and I were doing, we having to get our Wazoo to work and connect different systems. So on my side, I have to connect my Linux distros, connect my Windows. I'm not using my operating system like my Windows. I'm using a Windows virtual machine. So what happens is that every time we connect one of the devices, somehow it gets disconnected. So it's challenging on that because we are not even on stage 2. Stage 2, we have to use Kali Linux, the Hydra. We need to brute force so that we can get logs and alerts on everything that is happening. We're going to have all of us, we are 5 in a team. So we have to have 10 devices connected to the Wazoo. Each person have to have 10 devices connected to the Wazoo, which is like your Windows and your Linux. And then from our ends, everybody has to do something so that we get different logs and everything. And we all have to brute force so that we can get great alerts and great investigation on it. So far, we had to disconnect it. We had to delete everything. It has just been crazy because the problem is with the dashboard. Every time when we think that you got it right, something comes up, it gets disconnected, and we're not understanding what is the issue. Why is it getting disconnected?
Oh, I'm sure our listeners are on the edge of their seats because I think a lot of them have probably gone through similar things and are cheering from you from the sidelines. But I know that an awful lot of especially beginning cybersecurity work is exactly that. Delete everything, start over, reinstall. Don't know why it's still kicking you out, and just trial and erroring it until one day it stays on. So I wish you luck with that. That sounds really amazing. And yeah, we might have you come back to talk about your findings at the end of it there. But so as I previewed at the start of the podcast, we're talking today because you submitted a solution to an incident response problem and shared it with InfoSec's VP of Portfolio Project Strategy and Cybersecurity Instructor, Keytron Evans, over on LinkedIn. So Keytron is not unknown to InfoSec listeners. He's one of our favorite instructors and now sort of runs all of the education programs. He replied to your note on LinkedIn that it was one of the very best and possibly the best solution he'd ever seen for this type of problem. So we really wanted to have you on so that you could talk us through the process of how you did this. So we have a share screen function here. Gabriel, could you show our listeners a little bit about the original problem and then walk us through your problem solving thought process in solving this response problem? So why don't you share your screen and we can take a look together.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. It feels so surreal to be being commented by one of the best because, he's like Charon and I. It was really amazing. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay, this is the questionnaire that we got. You're given a scenario. This is the scenario above, and this is the course that you first have to go through before you even able to do the whole process. This is the course through the InfoSec skills. You get different things, and then this is the course piece, the incident response project course. My finding here is my findings. So I had to, as you know, I believe everybody in school does that like in my old school. What you do, you have to make sure that you answer every question in truth details. So what I did was initially to copy the scenario so that when I share it, whomever is going to read on this will understand where the project is about. So I shared the scenario, but in like switch it to my own words somehow, but not entirely. You asked like you're given a suspicious IP address, and you have to find the if I'm correct, the virtual machine. No, the machine which was compromised.
Okay.
Is one of a junior worker. They clicked on the malicious side, downloading a virtual machine, which was wrong. So I did my network analysis through Wazoo. I monitored every packet until I got the IP address and the logins through using my Wireshark. And then through the Wireshark, I was able to get more details more than that. I found the destination IP, the source IP of the malicious site and the malicious VirtualBox where it come from and come to be. And one of the things that Mr. Kitron emphasized on, which I love the most, I didn't know you were able to do, is you're able to extract malicious document from the Wireshark, which also shows the power of Wireshark on its own. I never knew you can able to do that. Here's the finding of it. I was able to extract the document, which I did analysis on using digital forensic, and actually we used a tool called Vitality. So you scan the Vitality, you do net scan, you need to find what is inside. You go in, like I wasn't able to go through each command of it, but I use Vitality. It is a powerful tool. You're able to find more. And he also emphasized on if you are unable to know every detail on how to use a Vitality. Normally, ask Vitality /H. It will give you all the command how to use it, the extended version of it, like extended commands on it, which I did, and it was so fun and also it is also fun right now as I'm currently doing digital forensic, as I emphasized. And then I did a pro dump on it. Vitality, you first use Zeek and then Vitality, and then to get the raw data of it. And there's a word that is missing in my mind. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh my God, what is the word? The word it just vanished. I'm so sorry for that. But yeah, with Vitality, you're able to get more than just the raw data. You're able to get the ports where, you're able to also say, okay, on this port, give me what was happening, give me the results, share with me, like, give me the mother, what happens with directory. There's a child, there's a mother, there is a parent, all those things. You're able to dig deeper to get information because you can't just go surface based. You have to go deeper. You have to know where did the problem start? How did it go? Which system did it affect? How did they handle? Did it spread? What was the initial malware supposed to do? Did it do what it was supposed to do, And then how do you also now remove it from your system without affecting, even when you go and search on what is the malicious code supposed to do, you have to do it very safely. You have to use Sandbox, which he also emphasized. And then he says something about you have to go search on Wireshark. No, sorry, not Wireshark, VirusTotal. But be careful when you share such documentation, especially if you're working for an organization, to not share too much as you might expose the organization's data. So that's what I learned from the whole process, which was so amazing because some of the things you're like, oh my God, I was not aware of this. I was not aware. So the project on its own gave me insight of the whole process, as I said, gave me insight on you're able to extract malicious file from Wireshark, which I didn't know you're able to do. I just knew how to monitor logs. So already that is an added experience using Vitality, the power of Vitality. When I was using it, it was so fun. It's fast and it's fun to dig with. And I'm currently going to also have to go back and redo it because I'm still in the process. I wouldn't say I understand it fully, but I understood it when she was explaining. Every time when I was stuck, I'll go back to the project and listen again to what he said. Listen, because he shares profound message on it.
That's what I was going to ask you about, because I remember when we first talked, you said that the thing that really helped you come through was that he said, just keep reading the instructions, make sure, because there's a lot, coiled within there. And it sounds like you really understood the assignment in terms of if you were confused, you just went back and you said all the clues are there basically, and all the things you need to do. So, based on the feedback that you got from Kitron and from your own experiences, Gamu, can you give any sort of advice to other cybersecurity students about the best methods of approaching problems like these in your study? What incident response advice would you give based on this particular exercise that you did?
My biggest advice, it also a listen to myself, is always document everything.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you listen and don't be afraid to ask questions, because I'm one of those people. I'll ask questions. Before you ask questions, don't jump to asking people questions. Ask yourself if you're able to prove. As I said, with the incidents response course, what I did every time was to go back and listen to what he's saying, because there's a thing of you listen too quick to apply and listen not to understand. So what I did was every time I'll go and listen to understand, I'll discover, oh my God, the first time I listened to this, I didn't understand this. The more I'll go back to listening to what he's saying, the more I learn. And then I'll go on YouTube. YouTube is my best friend right now. I search on everything, go on YouTube, search how can this problem be solved? How can this work? Listen to another person, what advice they have to say and everything. And learn the importance of writing things down, even if they seem very small. Documentation does not only help you to remember things, but it also opens up chances for feedback from others, like I got feedback, which can be very valuable. For some people, they think, when you're documenting, you're using it for getting a job. Yes, it's gonna be helpful, but sometimes it also shows the hard work that you apply. It also gives you the opportunity to get criticism, get feedback. Criticism in the a sense of somebody will come and be like, you could have done this better. You could have done that. And I use my LinkedIn to do that, to get feedback from people, connect with people, get different suggestion and get support. And also people saying, wow, thank you so much for sharing this. And always remember that knowledge shared is knowledge gained. So writing things down doesn't only help you to explain the concept more clearly, but it also helps you with the skill. It actually is a skill you keep improving over time. So yes,
yeah, I agree completely.
There's
a lot to sort of emphasize in there, Gamu. That's very, very wise. I want to also just point out or reemphasize, as you said, from as students who do not have yet a lot of job experience, documenting your thought process in your work. We hear this all the time from people who hire, that they want to see how you're thinking through a problem. They don't care if you're able to necessarily if you're able to solve a big problem, but they want to at least see your thought process, because that's what they're hiring. They're hiring your problem solving skills. They're not hiring as much a degree or a piece of paper. They want to know what your skills have taught you. And I think also that's a really great piece of advice about getting criticism. We had a recent guest on named Paige Hansen, whose best piece of career advice was, she said, quote, treat feedback like a gift, which I thought was very profound. And I'm glad to see that that's already also in your toolbox as well, because it's very hard to evolve and improve your skills if you're not willing to take criticism about things that could be improved. And so by knowing that early on, I think it's a very good sign and very exciting. So I really appreciated hearing that. So as we wrap up today, Gamma, what are your plans after you complete this cohort of Cyber Girls? Like, what do you see for yourself as a cybersecurity and incident response professional over the next few years?
Well, with the cyber goals already coming to an end, my next step is to land off definitely an
Right.
entry level role, and put my skills to work. I'm skilled in phishing analysis, threat intelligence, threat detection, SIM monitoring, the security information event management, monitoring, digital forensic, and incidents response. So I feel like I'm ready for that entry level role. And where do I see myself in the future? Wow, that's interesting. Looking down the road, I'd love to become a security operation
Mm.
manager because I believe that I have great leadership skills. So leading a team is something I believe I'll do well. And I want to make big impact also, as already I learned the skill of documenting. So I believe that that skill will help in developing and implementing a crisis communication plan, developing and implementing security policies and procedure, and also providing technical guidance and reporting to the chief information security officer, to name a few. And also my goal is not just to become a SOC manager. My goal is also to raise more awareness about digital security, especially since AI and tech is becoming a more part of our everyday life and is becoming something that is also scary on its own. So educating people on topics like deepfake, which is like one of the crises that is going on. I don't know if you heard, they released an open source tool on deepfake,
Mm.
which is so crazy because anybody can use it. And teaching people how they can protect themselves in the future, especially as the internet is becoming more accessible to young kids. So you can only imagine, I can be tech smart and have my sibling, my young sister, use my phone and click, already I'm
Yep.
compromised. So having a security become our everyday life, not only to adults but to children, to be aware, getting it in TV production, getting it on radio, making it our everyday speech. And I think it will help, if children, I believe you should teach children very young. They become very wise when they grow up. And since they are on social media, why not teach them, give them content that has to do also with security, let them be aware of such things. And also, if such things were to happen, let them not shy away from being afraid, because I think fear when it comes to security, there's a sense of fear when you're compromised, you're unable to report because now you're so ashamed. Why was I not so smart in everything? So us making it a talk, it opens doors that people will not be compromised. Not much, I think. If we talk about it, it's not gonna make a great impact, I believe. And also organizations, So yeah, and also a lot of speaking engagement. I love to attend events
Yeah.
and share my opinions on matters. So definitely SOC analyst, SOC manager, uh, creating content that is relatable, security awareness, and speaking
I
engagement.
love it. No, you should definitely go to some live events. I believe people are really gonna enjoy talking with you. You're very charismatic and very eloquent in your
Okay.
explanations of your thought process. Yeah, I'm sure people will love to meet you. So, to that end, as we wrap up today, can our listeners get in touch with you if they want to connect? I know you have a LinkedIn page because that's how we met, but do you have any information on if people want to connect and exchange information with you? Should they go to your LinkedIn page, or do you have other places you're having?
Definitely, I'd love to also connect on LinkedIn where I share my journeys regularly. I'm also working on, I don't know if I should say a podcast or something, but it's on creating security content. I'm using YouTube, Facebook. Facebook
Great.
was the main platform that I wanted to work on, as Facebook has been like, for me, an alarming site of scammers. TikTok, Spotify, Buzzsprout, and I'm making security tips easy for everyone using simple jargons, and I'm trying to involve a visual I have already released two episodes, but they're not so good. But yeah, I'm proud to get started. I'm also on Media and GitHub
wonderful.
as well, where I post my beginner friendly resources and project. So yes,
Great. Well,
you can kind of really.
all right. Well, I'll get those links from you after the episode, and we'll put them up in the episode description so people can find out about all the things you're doing. You're doing so many things. This is really exciting. So, as we wrap up today, thank you so much for your time and insight. Again, it was so much fun to speak to you. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. Can I just share one last
Please.
thing? I'm kindly asking to the viewers and whomever to kindly support on CyberGirl Fellowship,
Yes.
as your support will go a long way. You're not just only supporting, but you're changing somebody's life for the better. So we're asking for donation. It is an amazing program that helps women across Africa get into tech, and it's truly life changing. I heard there's this saying that says, if you educate a woman, you have educated the entire generation. And wouldn't it be amazing to have more women in tech and get rid of the gender inequality, So please support this journey. This is a great opportunity for people like myself. It gets us in the tech world. It gets our voices out there. So thank you to whomever is going to support and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you haven't seen folks who are on LinkedIn, go check out the CyberGirls Foundation's site. They have a video explaining that they've run into some funding issues and are definitely looking for support. So I hope you'll go check that out as well. So as we wrap up today, I just want to thank everyone who watches, listens, and writes into Cyberwork, the podcast, with feedback. If you have any topics you'd like us to cover or guests you'd like to see on the show, just drop them in the comments, and we'll do our best to get them for you. So before we go, don't forget infosecinstitute.com/free. It's a place where you can get a whole bunch of free and exclusive stuff for Cyberwork listeners. You can learn about InfoSec's new career immersives, which can take you from complete beginner to job ready in 6 months' time by a combination of live instruction, hands-on practice, and personalized career coaching that can fit into any schedule. InfoSecInstitute.com/free is still the best place to go for your free cybersecurity talent development playbook. You'll find our in-depth training plans and strategies for the 12 most common security roles, including SOC analyst, there you go, penetration tester, cloud security engineer, information risk analyst, privacy manager, secure coder, ICS professional, and more. One more time, that's infosecinstitute.com/free, and the link is in the description below. One more time, thank you so much to Gamuchirai Muchafa, and thank you all for watching and listening. This is Chris Senko signing off. Until next time, keep learning, keep developing. Don't be afraid to take criticism and feedback, and don't forget to have a little fun while you're doing it. Bye for now.